A long time ago, there was a house. People lived here. They laughed. They cried. They told stories. But time moves forward and people moved to two new houses and new towns. And this one stayed. Here's what happened next. The house had breathed life for many years. Warmth from its windows and laughter from behind its doors. But people don't stay still. So one day, the house woke up and the people were gone. The garden grew wild. Thorny vines and weeds taller than the fences. Inside, dust motes danced in the silence. The clock stopped ticking. The books fell open. A half-written letter lay on the table. The house sighed, its shingles a little weathered, its paint a little faded. It stood patiently waiting. But houses need tending, and when no one was around to do that, nature waited, pushing through cracks and broken window panes. Ivy crept up the siding, softening the sharp corners until they were all but hidden. The rose bushes sprawled, covering the stone walls with green. The birds nested in the eaves, calling back the wind and the rain. The house didn't mind. It was used to feeling the weather's embrace. One particularly blustery night, a branch crashed through the roof. Now the sky lived inside the house. Sunlight streamed through the hole, painting stripes on the floorboards. A family of ants marched across those stripes. They made their way to a sugar bowl, their crumbs spilling on the way down. The ants claimed the kitchen as their own, tunneling into the walls, making their home in the soft mortars between the bricks. Roots pushed through the foundation, lifting the floor a little higher, a little closer to the sky. Everywhere, tiny lives bloomed and fell and were reborn. A spider spun its web in the corner, strung with diamonds of morning dew. The house watched, patient and still. In one room, a rocking chair moved by itself. Or maybe it was the wind. Outside, a sunflower stood tall in the overgrown garden, its face tilted toward the light, following the sun as it dipped below the horizon. The flower drooped, then straightened, ready to greet the next sunrise. The house knew it was beautiful, not how it had been before, filled with laughter and light. But in the wild, untamed way, it was now tangled and free. The weeds bowed their heads to the wildflowers, and together they made a fragrant, colorful sea. Butterflies fluttered among them, sipping sweet nectar. The air buzzed with bees, drunk on pollen. The house was glad for its wildness, the messiness, the wildflower pressing its cheek against the window pane. Now the house is quiet again. The wind whistles through the rooms like a lonely lullaby. Somewhere inside, a cat yawns and curls up on the rug. A lizard flicks its tail and disappears behind the wing. The house sighs, again, this time with contentment. It doesn't know how long it's been since people have lived here, but it feels whole somehow, even with missing shingles and ivy climbing its walls. And then one day, someone does come back. They push through the overgrown weeds, step over fallen branches, climb the ivy, touch the peeling paint. They walk inside and let the dust settle around them. They don't try to sweep it away. They just stand in the middle of the room and breathe it in. They listen to the wind singing through the broken window. They hear the birds building their nests in the rafters. They watch a spider spin its web. They see the wildflowers blooming in the garden. For a long time, they just stand there, letting the house fill them up with its stories.
គឺធ្វើការមួយទេធ្វើភ្លាមបានមួយភ្លាមមែនប៉ុន្តែអត់មានប៉ុណ្ណាតែអត់ក៏មិនអត់ដល់មែនទេឥឡូវអានបានឬអនឡាញខ្ញុំចេះទាំងកាប់ពីវីដេអូទាំងការថតទាំងធ្វើ Facebook នៅតែដើមទុំទិញគុំលងយើងចាំមកលើចាំកាប់តែពេលចាំមានអានចាំមើលតែតែយើងទៅតាមសាប់អូខេអត់ដល់សាប់ចាំគាត់អារីគាត់យើងសាប់ទៅចាំតែតែយើងមើលកាប់កាប់ខ្ញុំទៅយើងកាយយើងនេះរំធំចាំមកមកដល់